So let's start off with what you're doing right now,
Mhm.
and then we'll see how it takes us back. But you say you're a journeyman. What does that mean? And I know you're working for the union. Can you kind of explain what it is you do on a daily grind?
Um, as for a labor, there's multiple trades. The trade itself is the labor. We pretty much do a little bit of everything between welding, um, concrete, a little bit of framing, but not too much. It's usually done for the framing contractors. General construction with high rises, what so forth. There are different small trades in there, plumbing, et cetera, et cetera. We do have a hands-on a little bit of everything, and we do know a little bit of much. And to become a skilled labor, you have to go through an apprenticeship program. That usually takes someone 1,000 hours or so. So that can take between 2 to 3 years for a person coming out of high school, out of college, or even just straight up, anytime in the 30, 40, whatever they want to start. You have to go through that kind of apprenticeship program. And usually, when that comes into play, you have to take in those hours, or you have accumulated hours from a different type of construction to show that you are a skilled laborer, that you know what you're doing. You can get paid the fullest amount that the union can provide for you itself.
So obviously, this is not something you like plan to do, right? Because you're now you're 30 years old and you've been doing it what 1 year, I think, 2 years now.
Yeah,
So it's not something that you
it'll be my second year.
okay. So it's not something you like. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be a union. Work for the union. No, right? It's something you kind of stumbled across based on different things. Your life path just kind of took you there. So do you see a difference between the worker who's barely coming in now, like around your age, as kind of a second career, or do you think people, I don't know, what's the difference between that person and the person who comes in right out of like high school who's able to go right into it?
I see. Obviously, when I come in, I'm only 2 years in. I'm 30 years old.
You're old, man.
I do have a little bit
You're
of
getting up there.
college, but not. I don't.
You're
I
getting
don't graduate.
up there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like right there, but not there. But coming into the industry, what sort of industry I'm in was right now is pipeline. Pipeline itself is for natural gas, and we dig the holes, we prepare it, we set it up for the welders. Welders come and do their thing, and then we just coat it and put everything back how it was, and add additional stuff that we need to do and take care of. And we make sure the hole's safe for anybody who gets in the hole, whether it's inspector or so forth, etc. We do more than what other trades do in the pipeline industry. The labor kind of has hands on everything. Um, I came in a couple years back, and people have been doing it for 5 years, 6 years, as long as they've been in here in Northern California for the union representatives to actually jump in. Before it was non-union, and now it is union work with PG&E. And those guys have been doing it for a while. They're in it for the long haul. They're in it since the very beginning. They seem to always find a way not to do as much work. They're trying to get other guys to do the work for them. As far as what I've seen, I mean, you kind of let the rookies kind of do the work as far as what sort of situation. You play smart sort of way. Those guys, I mean, they seem to only know one thing, and that one thing is the job, right? They don't know much else besides what their kids are doing, or I even know a guy who didn't even know how to do laundry, doesn't know how to how to cook for himself. He's like, oh man, you guys are like, you do all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm at the house and might as well take care of what I need to take care of at the house. I'm contributing part of this family sort of thing. And he's like,
Right.
oh man, I just have my wife take care of it. Like, they're very macho in who they are, and is a typical construction kind of guy that you'd meet, that you'd understand, in that sort of role spectrum sort of thing.
It's like, yeah, just like
I
come
come
home,
in from a different background.
right? Just come home and have everything taken care of already.
Yeah,
Kind of just work a bunch of hours.
yeah,